Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today we're doing two lives at the same time. So I decided to combine my Facebook and my YouTube together for coffee and chat. And yeah, so I wanted to start off this morning. Obviously, want to touch base on the Chris Watts case with the fact that the mistress came out with her interview, and Chris Watts's parents have also both come out with their interview. And, let's face it, it's definitely a case that everybody seems to be watching. So if you're just new to this, I'm following the Chris Watts case in Colorado. He was originally accused of murdering his wife and two children, and he later pleaded guilty to that charge. And confessed. So Monday is our hearing for that, and his mistress has recently come out along with his parents in interviews with news stations. So I did want to discuss that a little bit with everybody. I think we'll just wait and see if there's a few people to come on so that we have some chat. Hey, somebody. See who that is. And good morning to Slacky. So, if you're new to who I am a graduated legal assistant here in Canada from 2017. And I enjoy spreading true, awareness about true crimes happening around the world, and, sort of sharing the stories if tips are needed, or information is being required by law enforcement. Um, I don't really know what else to tell you about that, other than the fact that I really enjoy doing the YouTube channel and spreading that awareness. We are recently following the missing person of Jamie Kloss, hoping that this young lady gets found somewhere soon. Turn that up. Can you hear me okay, viewer? Let's see who you are. And good morning to whomever you are. Let me see. It's probably just YouTube. So yeah, I did want to discuss the fact that this mistress has sort of come out and is now saying that Chris Watts was lying to her too, and she had no knowledge of Shanann Watts, the wife of Chris, and that she had no knowledge of his family. I don't know how sincere that might be, but I guess we'll find out in the long haul. And, hopefully she is being really honest. And then we've got his mother who's stating that due to the fact of not being able to discuss the case with her son in jail, due to I get the lawyers asking her not to, and counsel and stuff. Hi, Jay. So because good morning, Ray. How are ya? Good morning, coffee. Yes. And I mean, I was just discussing the fact of Nicole Kessinger, the mistress that came out. I'm not too bad, thanks. My back is a little bit hurting. I pulled my neck this morning. I'm hoping I fixed it, but I don't know. Thanks for the thumbs up. Anyway, so we're discussing the Christopher Watts case, and discussing the fact that his mistress has come out stating that she was duped as well, and she was lied to as well by him. I've had a lot of viewers mention to me Do you think that it's possible that she knew nothing about her, her boyfriend's family and wife and stuff like that, because they both worked together? But if she was working as a dispatcher and he's working out on the oil field and whatever, like, there's no way. I think that if he was able to hide it from his family and his wife, he's probably pretty good at lying and hiding things, and therefore I don't think anybody at his work knew. I don't think that they knew that there was something going on between the two of them. um I could be wrong about that, right? Because this is, hi, solo mom, that's cool. But I think it's just, I don't think that Nicole would have brought it up to her dad. I don't know. I mean, it's possible that she may have tried to look into him in the system of wherever, whatever information they sort of keep about him there. And if he would have had like a medical policy or something, medical coverage for his family, there may have been information like that in the file and stuff. But it is possible that she did not know. It is possible that they hid this from so many people because it was new. Nicole says she wanted to move slow, you know. So I'm thinking that it's possible that she didn't know, that she didn't bring this up to anybody. But I mean, in this day and age, I recently had this discussion with a few people. I feel like it's important to do background checks and to get government names of people and to know who you're going out with and know who you're talking to, in a sense, because you can pretty easily pick out the scammers who don't have the proper names online, and they don't have the proper pictures, they don't have the proper profiles, things like that. I think it's important in this day and age in our dating world to look into someone's background, their history, their family, who they are. Now, do I think there would have been any signs negatively about Chris Watts if she had done that anyways? No, I think that she would have thought he was just a very normal family and his relationship was broken with his wife, and that's why he wanted a girlfriend for comfort and whatever. And she may have had a soft spot for that, but she may have decided she doesn't want anything to do with him either. Depends on what kind of person Nicole is, right? Yes, she did tell Chris she wanted to move slow. Yes. And after he asked if she wanted to help him find an apartment. Yeah, I heard about that. What's the Susan Smith case there, Ray? And I mean, I just think the fact that they worked together, I think would have given her some access to that kind of information as far as, medical and who's covered and stuff like that in his file, you know. But I don't know. I don't know how Anadarko necessarily keeps their filing system on their employees either, so I can't really state that as a fact. That's just me talking. Like, I wonder, And then what's the Susan Smith case, Ray Holt? If you could just give me like a quick where did this happen, what happened type situation. For those of you joining me on Facebook Live, hi Rob. I am just talking about the Chris Watts case. The fact that his mistress recently came out to do an interview with some of the news channels in the United States, and his mother has come out to state that she doesn't feel that she had a chance to even talk to her son about all of this. Yes, I am right now on both for the first time. I decided to open up my Facebook and my YouTube at the same time and go live. So you guys are getting a little bit of a sneak peek of what I do on my YouTube channel. All right, Ray. She killed her children by driving them in the lake. Oh, yes, that's right. I do remember that case. Sorry. Sometimes I'm bad with names, you know? I'll just need like a little bit of a jargon and then I'm like, "Oh, yes, that's right." I remember that case. Yeah, it was horrible. Solo mom, you're right. I don't understand how anybody could do that. To run your children off into death, run them off the road, run them into water. Like this is insane how, you know, if you're a parent out there and you're finding that you can't handle something or you're going, you know, in a way that's not healthy, I suggest seeking help. I mean, why wait till that's too late and then you've gone and done something that's irreversible? You know what I mean? Like cuz you can reverse those negative thoughts and those negative feelings, but you have to seek the help to get there. A lot of us try to do that on our own and that's really really difficult. You know, so you with the right help, I feel like some of these cases may not have happened the way that they happened, but so many people are afraid, I think, to go and get that help, you know, to say, "Hey, I need help with something." I think is the bigger pill to swallow, right? It's like the pride in us that says, "No, I can do this." But if you can see that you're not doing it well anymore, why lie to yourself? Why lie to your family? It doesn't make any sense, right? It does happen more than we know, and that's, you know what, I refuse to cover those kind of stories. You know, I have a couple of times, but Ray, it is so freaking hard for me to separate my emotion from what's happened in that case, that I can't let myself watch it, cover it, and give you guys the feed on that kind of crazy, you know, parents killing their children, and you know, just that kind of devastation is just so heartbreaking. I can't bring myself to cover stuff like that, you know? And there is a lot of it out there. That's what's even more sad is like these poor little souls that don't know really right from wrong yet. They're clean slates. That's what you got to look at kids like, right? They're clean slates. They don't know what to do, what not to do, what to say, what not to say. We have to teach them every little thing, right? So to not have the patience behind that, I think is just damaging for the entire situation. You know what I mean? All people involved. So to admit that you maybe need some help with something, I think isn't a bad thing. You know, I think that's strength to say, "Hey, wait a minute, I might need some help with something." That takes strength, you know, to recognize that in oneself. Carolyn Maslin, hi, what are you talking about? It's draining. And hi, Timothy. Thank you for the compliment. But those kind of cases are brutal, and there's too many of them to count. I mean, it's brutal. It happens here in Canada too. So, I mean, it's all over the place, you guys. But I'm curious, Carolyn, what do you mean about what's draining? Sorry. And don't feel bad about any of your thoughts in this, you know, like everybody has their own thoughts and their own mentality ways and stuff like that. And none of us are more right or wrong than the other unless it's hurtful and abusive against somebody, in my opinion. At that point, if you're hurting somebody or something like an animal, I think at that point, you know, there should be some help being sought because there's something wrong, you know? I'm a great communicator. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I try to speak clearly and know what I'm saying and try not to say and too much. I was recently watching some other posts of people who do speech, you know, things, and I was a little bit frustrated at hearing it myself. So I'm very, very much trying to be aware of it. And I've had some of my viewers point it out as well, you know. So I want to sound direct. I want to, I don't want people getting frustrated with how I'm speaking. So bottom line is I'm trying to listen to all the constructive criticism and take it all in and change. So change for the better. This case made, made national news, so it makes people wonder what happened. Asking for help can be anyone from friends to family, not just limited to professional help. That is true, right? And so for those of us that have friends or family members that are going to possibly come to us and say, you know what, I'm not doing so good. I'm really angry, or I'm really frustrated, or I'm losing my patience, and blah blah blah. We need to take those kind of things seriously then, and stop whatever we're doing in our lives in a second and go and help, in my opinion, right? If the family member has enough courage to come to you and say that they do need some help with something, I think it's just our duty to sort of, I don't mean drop everything, but I do mean to specifically make some time for that person, you know? I do great at public speaking, Ray. Thanks. Yes, and growth is good. I do like to take the constructive criticism. Like recently, I was discussing some things with Leanne Ferguson on my YouTube, and she was mentioning how I should reference and cite my fact findings on each case, and I guess I have verbally done so, but I haven't actually written in the exact links. I've kept it at a short description. So I am going to try to make the effort for everybody to put those links in so that you guys can go and read, the things that I have read and things like that. It was something that was taught to me in my legal course. It's just not something that I use in practice on a daily basis. So I think I'm going to try to incorporate that to better my channel for my viewers so that they, feel comfortable listening to me, that I know where I got my information from is credible and things like that. So, Diva, you're funny. Thank you. Inspiration. That's awesome. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna better myself in some of those ways for my viewers for sure, because let's face it, we all want to make sure that what we're hearing is truth, right? That's why I don't reference some of the things that I say, because some of it is from news and I'm not sure if it is correct or not, right? To see resources information. Yes, yeah, that's true. I'm going to make the effort actually. It takes a lot more work, but that's fine, I'm willing to do that to build my channel. Do you understand? So, and the thing that I actually am having troubles with, and maybe somebody can help me with this, is anytime I am responding, not anytime, I shouldn't say anytime, erase that. Sometimes when I'm responding to people and it's in text or whatever, and that's all they can see is the writing, I feel like my like an attitude is coming across that I'm not even intentionally trying to put forth. I'm actually really trying to be sincere and inquisitive, and because my tone of voice can't be heard, no, I get misunderstood and sort of, accused of being heartless and mean and confrontational. And I don't know, like, I know how to be confrontational, you guys, but I also know, like, when I'm just trying to ask a question too. And I feel like my tone doesn't get through in my texts. And therefore, a lot of what I'm saying gets misunderstood for being bitchy or whatever you want to call it, brash or harsh or, so I don't know how to fix that in a sense, like, to be honest with you, because there's no way of sending tone messages through through here. I just lost about like 4 viewers, so that's funny. But oh well, whatever. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm a pretty direct person and stuff like that, but I'm also not trying to be rude. You know what I mean? But I am trying to ask questions along the way to people back and forth and bounce things back and forth. And sometimes I get the feeling that people look at it like, whoa, lady, like, you're crapping all over me. You think you're a know-it-all and blah blah blah. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. No, 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 no. I'm just trying to see what you guys were exactly saying, where the information came from, how you heard that, where, you know what I mean? Where it came from and all of that. But you can't get any of that, from text. You understand? It's hard to put emotions aside in inquiries, right? That's what emojis are for, to soften the words. Okay, all right. I don't use a lot of emojis in my texts. I'll start doing that. Good morning, Nancy. How are you, girl? And then we've got Ted. Hi, how are you? And Rashid and Kirk. All right. Well, that was a really, really good suggestion, Solo Mom. I think I'm totally going to use that. I'm going to start putting emojis in and amongst my words so that people know that I don't mean it to be, good morning, coffee time. I don't mean it to be rude. I just want to talk and I just want to inquire back and forth. And even when I'm inquiring, honestly, the look on my face is probably like this as I'm typing, but I'm still trying to inquire. That's funny. But I'm okay, hon. I pulled something a little bit in my neck this morning, but I'm hoping that I fixed that. So, how are you doing this morning? Let me just fix my shirt a little bit here. And how's everybody's coffees this morning and stuff like that? I am intensely passionate, that's true. But I was just looking for suggestions on how to soften my sort of my edges, I guess. Soften my edges. Can I get a friend request from you? Sure, Jay. I will go in and find you after I'm finished my live. YouTube is being laggy this morning. Well, I don't know what to tell you on that. I'm so not tech savvy and all of that jazz. Things usually don't work for me on a regular basis, and I fight with the technology. So, all right. Hi, Fligo. Soften. Why, Sherry? Okay, so here's the thing, Nancy. Recently I had a discussion with a lady on YouTube, and she had said that I had sounded pretty harsh, and I honestly wasn't trying to be harsh at all, and I feel like a lot of my what I mean and how I'm trying to say it doesn't come across in my text messages because you can't hear your tone of voice and stuff like that. So I got a suggestion though from Solo Mom. Thank you so much. Hi, Stephanie. Coffee is hot. Husband had made it when I woke up. Aw, isn't that sweet? You have the nicest husband. Let's all admire that for a moment. We're admiring Stephanie Green's life. Not envying, admiring. Totally huge difference, right? Excuse me. So sorry. Okay, so yeah, always troll. I got a really good suggestion from Solo Mom about using emojis and stuff like that in my um, text messages and all of that. So I think I'm gonna definitely use that a little bit more. Yeah, you go, Stephanie. But so yeah, I just think this morning it would be great to talk about the mistress that came out, Nicole Kessinger. She is Christopher Watts's mistress from Colorado. He is the confessed killer of his pregnant wife, 15-week pregnant wife, and two daughters, Bella and Celeste, aged 3 and 4. And honestly, such a sad situation. And I'm curious if all of you guys think that Nicole Kessinger has sort of told us everything that she knows already, or do you think that maybe she knows more? Yes, totally sad. Very pleasant, charming. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. But and then I also wanted to talk about the fact that his mom and dad have the right now to write an impact statement. So they have the rights, right, to write a victim impact statement. And that can be towards Christopher Watts, their son, in regards to the fact that he took their grandchildren, that he killed them. So I'm wondering, do you guys think that they're going to get up and take this opportunity and tell their son what they think about what he did, or do you think that they're going to sit back and not give a victim impact statement, or do you think that maybe they'll use that victim impact statement time to tell their son how much that they love him? You know, there's, I guess there's three ways that could go, right? They could say something about the grandchildren, they could say something about him, or not say anything at all, right? And Ray, if you think there's another way that could go, please do share, you know. You think she knows more, but with sensitive of the case in Monday. Yeah, that's probably true. Now, it's been said that she's not looking for fame. She's not looking to get rich. She's just looking to state her truth that she was also duped by Christopher Watts and lied to, and you know, it wasn't honest. He wasn't honest with her. He had said he was at the end of a divorce. Meanwhile, he was still married. He had not even filed for a divorce paper at all, right? We all know that. You don't think she'll say everything, Nancy? Yeah. The chances that yeah, that okay, so you don't think that Nicole Kessinger will say anything else or knows anything else, and then you're saying that the parents, you don't think, or it's a 50-50 chance on what they're going to do. Yes, Ray, I appreciate the postings for sure. That's awesome, hun. She is in a bit of a bad situation at the same time as you understand the card that she's playing right now. And I don't mean that in the sense that she's not being honest or she's being deceiving. I mean that they're playing the card, the victim card for her as well, because, right, like what if she did know, right? I mean, people in society are mean these days, right? I mean, they could just come after this girl, for in a bad way. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to put ideas out there, but you know, did Chris have his own Facebook account? He did have his own Facebook account, and those were deleted a long time ago with Shanann, actually, on a video. I think that she was just trying to stay on top of the fact that he was talking to other women. And I think that that was probably nothing new in that relationship. He probably always felt strong armed a bit by her because of her resilience to her hustle. Like she was really a good um, mom and a good woman, and she really worked hard. I mean, honestly, like she was admired by many in a sense, right? And I think that Shanann probably caught wind of him talking to other women a long time ago. And that's, why she made him get rid of his social media accounts. It was just an alley for him to possibly be, unfaithful and have infidelity issues, right? But she is brave for coming out. Ray, are you saying you think she was duped? Sure, she's in shock. They are already judging her, and see, that's why I'm not trying to say that she's not being honest. I'm just saying that it's interesting that they're pulling her out now, and they're also playing the victim card with her. I wonder if she did know more than she knows, and that is unfortunate. There's a lot of infidelity out there. There's a lot of people that are having affairs in their marriages and things like that. So that's nothing new, right? That's not this day and age. That was kind of an always thing, which is sad to say and unfortunate. It's the reason that I stay single. Like, forget it. I'm tired of being hurt, cheated on, and whatever. Yeah, I think that she's pretty. I don't think she does very much resemble Shanann in a way, though. I noticed that too. Nancy, get it all out. Yes, I'm not trying to use you guys as therapy. That's too funny. You're funny, Ray. All right. Think of her coming forward is why Shannon was found so fast because of Nicole's job when she talked to police was searching Shannon's neighborhood. Yeah, yeah. I would like to. I would really, 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 really like to talk more with Nicole, which is Shannon's best friend. I've tried to get in contact with her. I have spoken with her. I just would like to, I would like to really speak to her. I would like to pull out Shannon's, best qualities and fun times and do a tribute to her, her name and stuff. I did one for the three of them, the fact that they were a family and stuff. But Shanann had so many kind of admirers in her Thrive Lavelle business. So I just think it would be really nice to showcase her, and I'm hoping that one day Nicole decides, she's ready to talk about her best friend. But I can imagine how hard that would be, though. It is why she had her attorney present. I absolutely agree that that's why she had her attorney present because I'm sure that the media was going to ask her all kinds of questions, but she wasn't going to be able to answer all of those questions. Do you know what I mean? And that's why the lawyer was there to say, nope, nope, another question, you can't answer that. And they would have had to edit all of that and piece together the little bits that they did get. I'm so French talking with my hands. Sorry, guys. It's just me. That's the good thing about the lives, though, is that you get a chance to see me, who I really am, how I talk, what I'm all about, um, what my goals and aspirations are here and stuff. So talking about Nicole Watts ex. What do you what Nancy, that doesn't fit together because I don't think there is a Nicole Watts. Good morning, Tom. We have no weather going on today. Big schmuck. He posts something on Facebook saying, like, we all get the snow and fine, like, whatever, because I sometimes show weather and stuff out front. I thought it was kind of cute. I laughed about it, but he just popped on. Hopefully, he heard me. It's funny. No, Ray, you cannot be in my video. Sorry. Okay, Nicole, Chris Watts' girlfriend. I got you. I got you. Okay, you totally confused me because there's Nicole, Shanann's best friend, and then there's Nicole Kessinger, which is Christopher Watts' mistress. And so when you put Nicole Watts, I was like, what? What are you talking about? Who is this person? This Christopher Watts is a man in Colorado who killed his wife and two children, and he is about to go in front of a judge on Monday for his sentence hearing. And we're discussing the fact that his mistress has come out to do an interview with the news channels, and they have also had interviews. The news channels have also had interviews with Christopher Watts's parents. So the case is in Colorado. If you're interested in Googling it, it is pretty interesting, and there's a lot of questions with it. So be prepared to have a lot of those, come out as you're reading more about the case. It's just like, what, what's going on now? It's just a head scratcher, a lot of it, to be honest. She needs an attorney present and a bodyguard at this point. Sad but true. No kidding, Nancy. She was inspired personality. Who are you talking about, Ray, when you say that? Yeah, that she did mean the Kessinger, Nicole Kessinger. You know too many. I know, right? There's too many Nicoles involved, but it is going to be televised. Now, I don't think it's going to be live. I don't know though. I maybe somebody's going to get to go live. Um, I don't know though. I have a feeling that it's all just going to be recorded and then back to the station to edit and put it together and put it out for news. But all of the expanded media has been granted by the judge, so they're actually holding the entire hearing in a different room because it's a bigger room. They need to be able to fit everybody in there, because they've opened the floor up for all the media to come in. So, excuse me. But it is to be televised, yes, and it starts at 10 a.m. Man, I really wish I could travel down there. I just don't have the funds to do that. But one day I'm hoping to be able to grab a passport and just jump on a plane and go down someplace to catch, the hearings. The good news is, though, Scott Reich, who is a practicing criminal attorney in that Colorado area, is going to make sure that he pops in for, a quick look and see and hear what's happening. So, no, no, not 2 p.m. It's 10 a.m. Colorado time, from what I understand, because that's what's written in the motion. Ray Scott mentioned it. No, I think Scott's going to come on around then to say his piece about what he's heard. That I think that's what he was meaning. I did listen to his show this morning before I started my live. I find it's interesting that him and I are on the same wavelength, the same path. You know what I mean? He thinks that it's odd that they're returning the evidence in the case to the Watts family. He finds a lot of the things that I find in this case odd. And I think that makes me feel good. Like, I feel like I am understanding things, but how I'm seeing them. I'm understanding how I'm reading them. My course is coming out in me, and I'm able to sort of grasp that. Now, the fact that Scott Reich is a practicing lawyer, it just gives him that that like one up that he can really define each and every reference towards the cases. He's got the legal numerical breakdown. So he has the law books that I don't have. I have the legal course books, but he has the breakdown of each and every law and what it means and stuff like that. So he's sort of able to really give you guys a good feel on exactly what's happening in that courtroom in layman terms for everybody to understand it clearly. Do you know what I mean? And he is really, really smart. So I enjoy following him, and I think it's really awesome that we're on the same wavelength, to be honest with you. I think that's pretty cool. Yeah, that would be cool to team up. But I mean, I'm all the way in Canada and he's all the way down there. What the heck would we even team up about? But I get the feeling that somebody's helping him for sure, because he's got his backdrop is all fixed and he's got his curtains and a mirror up now and a stand and the microphone and the whole nine. He's definitely got some help in setting up versus me having no help at all. So, I kudos to him, and I'm really happy that he's got that. I don't know if someone from YouTube stepped in or if this is somebody in his own personal life or someone at his law firm who's helped him. Whomever it is, it doesn't matter. It's good for him, and that is really awesome. He does do podcasts too. Yeah. I don't know where to find those though, you guys. I'm so like illiterate on some things. Some technology stuff I'm not on top of 100%, and some things have moved so quickly that I lost track of like how to do certain things. So how do you find the podcast? Somebody share that info with me. I'd love to know. I could just Google it, to be honest. I'm sure if I just Googled Scott Reich's podcast, it would come up wherever it is that he's playing that, you know what I mean? And I don't know what I would necessarily do with a podcast, but I sure wouldn't mind some help from YouTube to build my channel up, though. I certainly wouldn't turn that away. But Yeah, but whatever. It is what it is. I try to make the best of it, and I try to put forth the facts that I find out for you guys in the most genuine, sort of heartfelt way. I feel that that sets me apart from the crowd. The fact that I'm so heartfelt, I'm so genuine. I'm very kind. So I don't know, like it sticks out, right? People notice that, and I'm definitely not monotone or boring or, I kind of keep things interesting. I'm very honest. Like my integrity is pretty high. So my ethics are also very high, knowing right from wrong. So thank you, Nancy. Thank you. It's great to have a practicing attorney here in the Colorado case. I totally agree. You'll find a link for me, Ray? Sure, that would be great. Otherwise, I'll just Google it. It's no big deal. I am, yes. Thank you for noticing, Nancy. I am pretty passionate. The stories I put forward are ones that definitely tug at my heart. And yes, very sincere, right? I mean, I just see no reason in not being compassionate, solo mom. Like, why? Like, there's so many heartless people in this world. I'm trying to be that one glimmer of heart, I guess. Hope heart, you know? Love your professional attitude. Thanks so much. I appreciate the compliment. That's really awesome. I do try to be a little bit different in the sense of being genuine, just being 100% authentic, I'm very real and I'm very honest. So I think that that sets me apart from the crowd. Professional too. Airhead YouTubers. Is there really airhead YouTubers out there you stay away from? That's funny. You know what? We were talking about the fact that the parents have the right to write a victim impact statement right now. And I'm wondering, hi Maria, you're new? Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad you could make it. Oh, thank you, Jay. Genuine, kind, down to earth. That's very kind of you guys to notice. So, okay. So the thing about the victim impact statement is Christopher Watts's parents lost their grandchildren, right? I mean, he killed their grandchildren. So they have the legal right to stand up in court now and tell him how they feel about that. Now, they could take this opportunity. I'll show that link in case anyone else is interested in following the Scott Reich podcasts. Ray Holt just put up the link for us. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. But what I was saying is that Christopher Watts' parents have the right to get up and say to Chris what they feel about what their son has done and taking away their grandchildren. Now, I wonder, are they going to take the opportunity to get up there and say, you've ruined our lives, you took away our family, you took away our grandchildren or whatever, or are they maybe going to tell him how much they love him and they really wish they could talk to him? Or are they possibly not going to say anything at all? I mean, you subscribed to Scott a while back. Me too, actually. Me too. I actually really, really like him. He's very informative and he's a practicing criminal attorney. So I really like him. But I wonder if his parents are going to take the opportunity to get up there and say, you know what, like, we are disappointed in you and we wish that you would have come to us for help. We would have helped you. I wonder if it's going to be the mom or the dad or both. I feel like it could be the mom. you know, you think it should be the dad that should speak, not his mother. His mother might become too emotional. Maybe his dad will speak and it won't be his mom. You think it's going to be both, Nancy? They might mix it up with a little bit of both. Yeah. This is so sad. It affects everybody. Patty, I totally agree with you. Like there's nobody's winning in this situation. Chris Watts has lost Christopher Watts' family lost their son as well as their grandchildren, and then Shanann, family, they lost their daughter and their grandchildren as well. So there's really no way that you can slice it that this is even that there's anything good here. Right. One coffee down. But it's going to be hard for both of them to help each other. Yeah. Many innocent victims in this case. I totally agree with you, Ray. I think it's nearly impossible for there to not be an immense amount of hurt in this case. I wonder if anybody else is going to come forward and say anything. For instance, Nicole, the best friend of Shanann. I wonder if the lawyers have inquired with her whether she would like to, have a victim impact statement as well. I would imagine that motion will get filed. If that is the case, it will get filed before the court date. So the last order that was filed was involving the victim's rights for the grandparents. So I don't know if you guys want, I can just read this quickly to you guys. The order concerning the victim's rights for paternal grandparents states that on November 14th, 2018, private counsel on behalf of Cindy and Ronnie Watts requested the filing of an entry of appearance in the above referenced matter. Cindy and Ronnie Watts are the paternal grandparents of Bella Watts and Celeste Watts. The paternal grandparents are victims pursuant to CRS 24-4.1-302, subsection 5. Now, that's the references that I'm talking about that Scott Reich has access to in his legal book. He has those books, you guys. So it continues to state, while not parties to the case, the paternal grandparents are afforded all the rights encompassed under the CRS 24-4.1-302.5 as crime victims of the child victims. So these rights include making a written or oral victim impact statement at the sentencing hearing scheduled for Monday the 19th, November 19th. This court will afford the paternal grandparents or their designee the opportunity to deliver a victim impact statement. The court does not authorize the acceptance of the entry of appearance. So I don't know what exactly is going to happen on Monday. I got a freaking cat hair that's floating around me, you guys. I'm sorry. My nose. Jeez. But I wonder, good morning, Kelly. Hi. Patty, do I think that the autopsies are going to be released? Absolutely. I believe that information is going to come out on Monday. And they're supposed to hold a kind of like a video conference hearing regarding that. So, hi, Jen. My hair looks awesome. Thanks, hon. I appreciate the compliment. That's awesome. Thank you. So we're just discussing the Christopher Watts case here. His sentencing hearing is coming up on Monday, the 19th of November. So his mom isn't going to accept that he killed his children. She would rather hold on to the belief that Shanann did. I know, right? Like, come on, mom. Like, if your son has admitted to that already, why can't you believe it? You remember, you guys, when in the beginning, I had said, like, he's confessed, but then he took it back, and I had wondered if there was any truth to his story, and maybe he just wanted to hide that, and whatever, right? But then he confessed again, and when that comes, like, come on, when it comes out of the horse's mouth, like, what else do you expect anymore? Obviously, he's being honest, so to not accept that is kind of, I don't know. I feel I would be able to accept that. I feel that I honestly would be like, all right, so what the heck happened? I don't condone this at all. What you did is 1,000% wrong, but I forgive you and whatever, but you're going to have to serve out your punishment for this, for what you've done. So denial for sure. I feel like she's definitely stuck in denial. Watt's parents should not use the victim impact statement as a platform to get Chris to change his plea. Yeah, dare to be different. I don't think that I think there would be like some kind of legal thing there that they wouldn't be allowed to do that. The DA said possibly Tuesday release of information, right? Yeah. I don't dare. I don't know what I would do if I was in Watts' mom's shoes. Probably be medicated to stay sane. Yeah, I'm sorry I chuckle, but honestly, that's probably the truth about it. The entire family on both sides have been ripped apart. I mean, they went from caring for these two young grandchildren to not having anybody, not even their own son and daughter. So, on both sides, right? At first, I didn't want to know a lot about this case, but all the awful details, the Facebook Live videos, really got me too close. But now you're intrigued. Yeah. It's kind of almost over in a sense too, right? I mean, I feel like he's kind of got one last opportunity in front of the judge to state whether he fully understands every charge and all of his rights attached to all of those charges, right? So the judge needs to go through that verbally, each one. And so that's going to take a lot of time. And as long as Christopher says that he understands everything, all the charges against him and everything that's happening, then we'll be able to get the sentence. But we got to go through that process first, and we may get there and he will decide that he doesn't understand something or something wasn't explained to him properly, and we may still go forward with a trial or something like that, which is why everybody, Scott Reich, me, and a lot of other people thought it was odd that they would be returning any evidence at all before this is over. You know what I mean? Because it's not really over yet. So on questions to the son, yeah. Sherry the Breck girl. I don't know what that means, but I think it's a compliment. It's cute though. Excuse me. Not easy decision, no matter which way Watt's parents go on what they say or do. A lot of judgment on them, and they know that. Yeah, I really don't understand why so many people are judging the Watts parents, because Christopher Watts is a grown ass man. Let's face it. He's a grown man and he can make his own decisions, and clearly he did. And he chose to not really include his family in helping him with anything along the way. So, how, can anybody possibly blame the family, in my opinion, is kind of beyond me, because like he grew up and moved out and did he's already had his own life, and he's been building all of his life. Like, there's, in my opinion, the parents were long out of his life situation at that point. He was long on to making his own decisions and all of that jazz. So how anybody's blaming the parents, I don't understand, because he seemed to have been raised right, you guys, even from Keith Watts, the cousin that I have on this channel, has stated, that his upbringing was very normal, that he wasn't abused. He was a normal, quiet kid. He enjoyed running around and playing with his cousins and family time and all that jazz. He was a little bit shy or quiet, but like, that's normal. So everything about him's normal. I don't see how we can blame the parents in this in any way, shape, or form. The only thing that I think is sad is that the parents are sort of stuck in denial after their son has blatantly said, not once, but twice, that he did kill these people, that he killed his wife and children. Like, come on. It doesn't get more clear than that, right? Like, he wasn't coerced. He wasn't in interrogation for like 36 hours. He wasn't held, like without food, without water and spotlight, or beat up, or there was nothing like odd about how he was handled. It was all professional. The only things that were odd was that he wanted to talk to his father before he turned himself in, kind of thing, and stuff like that that looks questionable, right? Shanann's family have been very respectful. Absolutely. And Dare to Be Different one, I did just recently send a card out to Sandra, who is Shanann's mom. And I wanted to just, reach out and say, my apologies and condolences to her. So, because I recently sent out some of those flyers for some of my viewers to put up. So I took that opportunity to send Sandra something as well. But heartbreaking, right? How do you move on from something like this? I would imagine as a mother, she's just taking in all of those beautiful words on the cards flooding in about Shanann and her grandchildren. I would imagine that that's some kind of a comfort. So I wanted to be a part of that. You read something about DNA tests. I have to locate it. Are you talking about the motion? Because I can look that up. If you're talking about the motion, I've literally got it open on another page, but I don't know if that's what you're referring to. Yvette, what is the link for that you just shared? Could you tell me, please? Let's face it. What does it say? We did not attend the wedding of Chris and Shanann. Yeah, that's true. Let's face it, some people are finding a way to judge them maybe on how he was brought up, just certain people. Yeah, I honestly just think that that's irresponsible to blame the parents for a man who's 33 years old making, yeah, exactly, Elena. You just said it, right? You're 29, and it amazes me that Shanann and Chris are like 33, and people are trying to blame the family for that. Like, come on. He's 33 years old. I think he's pretty well on his way of making his own decisions, and he clearly did not make the right ones. So I don't think that they should be to blame. I think their denial is sad because their son is admitted to them, multiple times he's admitted, and they're still like, well, I don't know, I don't think it doesn't matter how poorly you treat somebody. You don't deserve to be murdered. You don't deserve to be killed. There's a ton of other ways of dealing with something like that. Their son chose to annihilate the family. Exactly. He kept them far away from all of their problems, so they really didn't know very much anyway. And then with Shanann and Christopher's mother, Cindy, getting into the argument about the nut allergy, I could see that creating more conflict and friction, right? I believe there's a motion, but also an article. So the motion that I found about DNA was that they have articles that can be tested, but that they haven't done any testing for DNA. So, and now that they're thinking about returning all of that to Christopher Watts' family, like his father's the written signed person to pick up the evidence. And I don't know if that's already been returned, but I honestly think that that would be a bad move to do before this is even hit in front of a judge. The judge needs to make sure that he understands all of these charges and stuff before he can even be sentenced. So we need to reach that threshold before we can go to the next one. And we can't get to the next one if he doesn't agree. Then we're backing up and we're going to trial. Do you understand? And then we need the freaking evidence, you guys. So I mean, we can't, I don't know. I don't see the judicial system just going on an autopsy report as being the sole evidence provider in a murder trial. But I mean, stranger things have happened, I guess. I don't know. Probably ashamed to look his parents in the eye. Yeah, no kidding. What are parents limited to see Chris Watts in jail? Seems odd. Well, yeah, I don't know why they were so. She says that she was limited to speaking with her son and stuff either, Nancy. Just finished watching. Sorry, what is your link about, Yvette? Who is your link for? What is it? finished watching it. More info about the remaining of the bodies and what sort of happened. The remaining of what bodies? Sorry. I haven't shared the link that you've shared because I don't know what you've shared. So if you could just, describe to me what you've shared, then I can share it for everybody else if I think it's appropriate and good for right now, right? I am a graduated legal assistant. I graduated in 2017. You can actually find my entire course results in a video that says, "What makes me qualified?" So, and that's on YouTube actually. And everything, all my name is the same on Facebook and YouTube. So it should be fairly easy for everybody to find. I think Shanann would have seen sign on his behavior leading up to this. Holly, I was talking about that earlier. You remember how there's a video of Shanann getting Christopher to delete his social media accounts? I think that there was probably some issues back when early on in their relationship where he was possibly being unfaithful. He was talking to single beautiful women online, and I think that that was kind of a stipulation, was you have to delete your social media accounts in order to stay married to me, kind of thing. And that's why we can't find any profiles on Christopher Watts, was because he deleted them years ago with Shanann. Chris doesn't want trial, wants to keep private all the sordid details about his double life. Yeah, I noticed that too, Dare to Be Different, but that stuff's going to come out whether he likes it or not, and he should have thought about that before killing his family, in my opinion. Yes, I have been following the Jamie Kloss case, and if you'd like to follow me on YouTube, Jay, I have videos on there for Jamie Kloss and her missing case. Sorry for the If you go onto my YouTube account, you'll find playlists and you'll find one with her name on there. You can look through those. I really enjoyed doing the one that was suggested by one of my YouTube viewers named Ray Holt, to change the look of her hair color and her hairstyle. That was really, I think that was probably one of the best videos I've ever done, was to show so many different looks of a person who's been missing for almost like over a month now, that it was important to put that out there. Hi, Thomas. Oh, Yvette, is that for Jamie Kloss, or is that, oh no, Home of Christopher Watts? Okay. All right, there's that link. There's a motion article. Hopefully you can find that article, Ray. But if you were talking about the DNA that they have and all of that, so if you're talking about that DNA stuff, I do remember hearing in that motion and reading in that motion that they are going to be getting rid of that evidence. Yes, you saw that video too. Like how you mentioned the recent hunters on that case. Yes, you know what? With hunting season opening up, I mean, it's possible that someone's going to trip over Jamie Kloss's body, and I don't know, like maybe she was too hard to contain, or we're going to find out, that she was killed, and that could be because she was screaming or something, and maybe they hit her and they hurt her too hard and they killed her by accident, and they wanted to keep her for the human sex trafficking industry, but they couldn't, or something. Whatever it is, it's true that the hunters are going to be going out in those fields and stuff, and they will notice turned up ground if someone's tried to bury her. They will notice piles of leaves and branches and stuff trying to cover her. And we may find her, sadly, right? So I think it was a really good tip. I think I got that tip actually from a news channel. And I thought that is really smart, that the hunter should be weary and look out in that area for something like that, right? She was dominating and parents said Shanann was abusive. She was very dominating, and I think that Christopher Watts' parents is kind of running with that right now. Whereas that's still no excuse. So would it be okay if somebody killed Cindy then because she outspoke too much? Like, come on, like, yeah, that's not all right, you know. Her mother said, yeah, she was socially awkward as a child, but so was she. Look at them both now presently. Yes, exactly. She should have never married. He should have never married if he didn't want the responsibility of a family. Yeah. Yeah, I think that he probably thought life was going to be a lot more different. I don't think he anticipated the financial strain and struggles, um, that they went through, and the bankruptcy and everything, like, when his wages dropped. So I think that put a whole nother level of stress on their relationship, aside from the fact that Shanann was a little armstrong with him or whatever. But, I don't think it's a bad thing to be direct and to be bold and to be out there. I'm somebody who's like that. But after seeing so many tragedies and so much devastation, I'm also somebody who doesn't think I'll ever want to date anymore. It's just the world's too crazy these days. You don't even know what the heck you're getting. And then the people that I do talk to, well, I'm running their names like there's no tomorrow. I'm checking up on them like there's no tomorrow because I refuse to, just be naive and think that there's still some good left when there's so much bad happening sort of consistently all the time. I will definitely be covering the story Monday, Patty, so stay tuned for sure. I will definitely be covering it. I wish I could be there live for you guys, in all honesty, but don't have TV. You'll so see. I know there's some of my viewers that I'm sure that rely on YouTube and other media sites to kind of get their news and information from. So that's why I would like to pride myself on being genuine and 100% authentic. With good work ethic. And I am on live, Thomas. I won't be doing any calling. Thank you. You heard about my live. I'm so glad you didn't miss it. Yay, Lisa. I'm so glad you made it. Look for the Denver News Channel. Yes. Yeah, Denver News is really good at putting forth some pretty honest feedbacks. It wouldn't surprise me if Jamie Kloss is in trafficking. Yes, I know. If the hunters don't find Jamie Kloss's body this hunting season out there, I would that would solidify my thought on her being trapped in the human sex trafficking industry as well. Because it's just too huge of an industry, and to not find her body and for her to just be straight up gone, that's exactly what I think's happened then. If we don't find a body this hunting season out there, that's definitely what I would think. Hi, Douglas. A lot of people are socially awkward and don't kill. Exactly. Hi, Natalie. You watched a video about Jamie that said that it looks like someone came in the home just to take her. You know what? It does look like that. And it looks like whoever it was knew the family, and that's why they had to kill the parents. In my opinion, that's exactly what I think happened. Was, that home invasion was done by somebody that Denise and James Kloss knew. And there was no way they could leave them alive without getting caught. So they had to kill them. That's my guess on that. Holly has been mentioned. Human traffickers focus on certain areas. That's true. And where she lives is a very high predominant area for that industry. It's pretty huge out in Wisconsin, you guys. I recently had a Facebook friend of mine from Wisconsin ask me if I'd come out and visit. And I'm like, hell no. Are you freaking kidding me? I would never go out there now. Like, geesh, that's just crazy. And then I don't know if you guys recently did you see my story on the areas that have the tier one, tier two, tier threes. So, like the areas in the world that have compliance issues with trafficking victim protection acts. So, like places like Russia and China and Venezuela, they have no protection act there and they don't even plan on getting one. So, those areas are high, very, very high for human sex trafficking. Tier two areas are areas that they don't fully comply, but they're significantly making efforts to comply with that um, TVPA. So it's the Trafficking Victim Protection Act. And then those countries are like South America, Brazil, West Africa. And then the tier one is countries that do comply. They do have protection acts in place and they do protect their citizens. And that would be places like the UK, some states in the US, and some in Canada here. So, like there's places around the world that you should not even go and visit if you don't know that place, in my opinion. Like if maybe you were born in Venezuela and you came to Canada and then you wanted to go back and visit family or something. But even then, with the fact that they have no laws in place, no protection acts at all, you guys, that is scary. You don't want to go someplace that there's no protection for its citizens, because at that point they're just saying, well, you come here at your own risk. It's like buyer beware. Like, seriously, with your life? I think that's a little bit of a gamble. And there's so many bad people around these social media sites that are circling for another victim, another person. And that's why they're saying to people, I'll pay your ticket, come out, don't worry about it, because they just want to get you there and then you're in trouble. So be careful, people. Like, that you shouldn't travel on someone else's dime, because not unless you know the person, like, it's your family member, it's your, somebody you've known for years, and you're now going to travel together, and they maybe won the lottery, or they got a bonus and they're like, come on, let's go for, a weekend somewhere, whatever. That's different. I'm talking about straight up like going somewhere because someone else wants to pay your way. That's straight up dangerous. And that's where bad things can happen. And if you're going to go to a country that doesn't even have any protection acts in place, holy crap, are you ever rolling the dice, right? You don't know what's going to happen when you get there. You do anything wrong, and you maybe don't even know you've done something wrong, like, I don't know. It's not something nowadays. Exactly, Ray Holt. Nowadays, it's better to be on the safer side than sorry, because there's so much evil that's circling around to just take up another victim. And this industry is booming, and it's booming because they keep getting more victims, right? So, and then I had read some of the statistics, and I did list where I found all these statistics, you guys, but the government sites state that between the ages of 18 to 35 are the people that are most at risk. So be careful. Like, it doesn't matter what you look like and what size you are, or what you do, or how much money you make, or what color your skin is, or anything as far as that industry goes. Everybody's at risk in a sense. And it might be lower amounts, like the under 18, it's a smaller percentage of people that are known victims and stuff like that. But like, come on, right? You got to know where you're going these days, and you got to know what's going to happen when you get there, in my opinion. You want to send who a card once sentenced, asking him how it feels to be most hated. You're talking about sending Chris Watts a card. Oh my goodness. Well, that's brave. I don't know if I would, and I wouldn't expect to hear anything back, but I hope that they don't find Jamie Kloss out there too. Thought about trafficking. I thought about trafficking when I first heard about her story too. Just a vibe you got. Yeah, no, I'm serious. Like, because of the area that she's in, because all of the sexual predators and, molesters, the registered sex offenders have been cleared. Um, there just doesn't seem to be very many other answers as to what the heck happened to Jamie Kloss, right? You'll have to go, Nancy. Okay, take care, girl. Have a good day. Not looking forward. I don't think the link went through. Which link are you trying to share, Natalie? They change hair, makeup, dress that often no one recognizes the missing person. Yes, Ray, that was one of the best suggestions, one of the better videos I had ever done, because of seeing such a difference in her face just with the different haircuts and styles. The Philippines, they have human trafficking everywhere. It's everywhere. Literally, it's just not as predominant in some places compared to others. What's some CDOC prison? I don't know. What is that? Excuse me. You were saying the link the other person was sharing, Natalie. Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out more on Monday, because they're planning to update us on the autopsies. They're planning to um, you know, televise the judge's interaction with Chris. So I'm assuming that we will know a lot more on Monday. I love the Colorado Department of that judicial site. That is a really, really good site. Colorado Department of Correction Prison. Okay, so I have a really silly question, I guess. Is that like a totally separate prison from like the mainstream prisons where they keep all the people who are televised too much or something? Like, I would think that that would be a little bit difficult. That's what CDC means, yeah. Oh, Colorado Department of Correction Prison. Oh, okay, so okay, sorry, I misread that. I understand now. Obviously, that's not a separate thing, but I think that they're still going to keep him in um, protected population for a little while, because well, probably forever. The fact that he's a child killer, you guys, I don't see him ever being put in general population. There's just no way. I mean, he'll get killed, right? I mean, he may very well get killed anyways because of the crimes he's committed and the guys that he's going to be in there with, but there's less likely of a chance of him getting killed by the people who have also hurt other children, right? You can't type today. That's funny. My suggestion is just to read it before you push the send, just to make sure quick. But I do that all the time too. Send things too quick and then I go back and read it and go, what was I talking about? Anyways, I'm very thankful for all of your guys' support and viewing and watching and, staying on top of these cases with me, helping with, links or whatever. And the fact that we can be so raw and real with each other that it doesn't matter that we have typos or misunderstandings or, misunderstood information or whatever. We still, we get along and we get our informations across. So, I have two cats. I just vacuumed yesterday, and sure enough, there's cat hairs floating everywhere. Still, crying out loud, drives me crazy. 5 prisons here that house inmates like his like this. Okay. Regardless, that's not general population though, right, Ray? So I mean, they're not going to, they're not going to put him somewhere where they think he's going to get hurt or killed. And I mean, if I missed a few questions or statements, um, I hate to ask you guys to repeat, but I'd have to scroll all the way up to catch everybody, and some of yous might be gone. Mm-mm-mm-mm. But I think it's odd that Christopher Watts's parents are saying like that they think that they know so much in a sense about, Shanann and her side of the family and stuff when really they were kept so far away and they don't really know a whole lot. So, and the fact that their son is admitted not once but twice, like to killing their grandbabies, how much more raw and real can you get, right? It is true that Christopher Watts' parents didn't go to the wedding. And I actually don't even know what that reasoning was for that. Talk with a DOC person. They said he could down the road contact in general population being it's similar. Not for a while. Okay. And sister didn't go to the wedding. And third daughter is in a decent relationship. If they were to get married, I would not go. Well, I don't know that they were really, Shanann and Chris were abusive, I think it probably started out a lot like joking around and friendly kind of bashing and belittling in a sense. I don't know if that's even possible, but before he got caught cheating is what I'm going to guess. I'm going to guess that she had caught and found out some things on his phone and that's why his social media accounts got deleted. And I think her just trying to kind of control him in the sense of you shouldn't be unfaithful kind of thing is kind of what pushed him towards being that way. But there's no excuse. I mean, as soon as you turn away from your relationship, it stops working, right? You have to turn towards your relationship to work on it. But if you turn to someone else, like it's guaranteed that that's the beginning of the end, in my opinion. Chris and Laura said they attended high school together. Mom Watts never liked Shanann. Yes, yeah. But I think that I'm not sure why she didn't really like her. I have a feeling that that mostly stemmed from her strong sort of hustle attitude, but I don't think that's reason enough to not like someone. But don't get me wrong, I think it happens 100%. Like I can personally vouch for that in my own life. Well, if I was your daughter, I would be definitely trying to get out of that situation. You sometimes have to be smarter than the perp in order to get away, but once you get away, the trick is to just never go back, right? And I think that's often the mistake that gets made is the sweet demeanor comes out and the person really did care about that person, and so they think that it's okay to go back and they think it won't happen again, and then it happens even worse, and that's the cycle of abuse, right? So been there, done that. If there's anything I could suggest, it would be to tell her that you are willing to help her get out of that situation at any time, any day, you know, to protect her and keep her safe. You think that they had a normal relationship issues before he went too far? Yeah, I think so too. They looked pretty happy when they first met, and all of their pictures before they had their children, before they got married, they looked pretty happy. You know, he seemed to admire her strength. But what suspect happened was that she caught some inappropriate actions on his end via his phone, via his social media, things like that. And it was sort of an ultimatum time. And that's, you know, right around the time that he made that YouTube video clip about relationships and stuff like that. I did see the video. I have one up on my YouTube. I have it in the playlist of him, a little clips of him in that video. So I think it was around that time that they sort of decided to sit down and really try to work out the relationship of what they could do to make it work. And part of that, I think, was deleting the social media accounts, to show that he was choosing his wife and family in a sense. But I think that it continued to happen. I think, you know, maybe even false profiles happened and stuff like that, that created for more doubt, more trust issues, more belittling, you know, more demeaning. And that's when things, I think, started to change. And then at that point, they had already had one child and another one on the way and things like that. So, well, sure, the first thing to go is social media when you get caught cheating. Exactly, right? I mean, that's the ultimatum. Like, listen, it's us or it's that. So that's my guess. And that's just from my own kind of past experiences, you guys. When Chris Watts was heavy and weird talking about relationship solutions. Yes, he was a heavier set guy when he was younger. Makes me wonder if that was the Thrive they got into that really kind of, but I mean, he was pretty active too, right? So he may have just sort of done like an overhaul on his lifestyle, right? Changed his lifestyle, started to be more active. Maybe the job that he was in was pretty demanding, right? So I would imagine that that was when he started to sort of trim into his man body. Awkward to say the least. Shanann said in a video, Chris talked her into having another child before she got pregnant. Yeah, I don't know if it would have taken very much talking her into, to be honest, you know? I see Shanann as somebody who drops a hint maybe and then leaves the subject alone, kind of like, you know, hoping that he'll bring it up kind of thing. But I don't know that fact at all. I don't know if that's true, if that's how she was. For that, I'd have to talk to Nicole, her best friend, and see if she knew. And I'm still hoping that one day she decides to open up and talk to me, choose me to talk to. I saw that his mother said he was not happy. Yeah, but I mean, he chose to keep his family out of his personal relationship too, though. So at the same time, how do they even really know that? Like, because that's contradicting to what they originally said, that they didn't really know much about their son and his life and his relationship. And then they're going to turn around and say, well, they don't like her. Like, how is that possible if you don't know her? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So, and some bodies change with age. That's true. You know what? That's totally true. You live right around the corner. You grew up with his father. Has not been in our house for 2.5 years. Be careful out there, everyone. Yeah, no kidding. You don't think Chris Watts liked that Shanann was not talking or not taking his BS? Yeah. Well, or that she was very inquisitive in finding out about his BS too, right? I mean, she didn't just take his word. She went and like hunted things out and found things out and then confronted him. So I think she was like a little relationship detective in a sense. And she caught that he was cheating and, you know, probably threatened to leave him with nothing kind of thing. And I think that he just felt overly defeated. you know. The pregnancy video was shocking because you can clearly see that he is not genuinely happy. He's shocked, like shocked. Um, so that doesn't look like a happy father face to be, in all honesty. Hi, George. Hi, Tanya. Hey, Bill. Your daughter knows that you're all there for her. Well, that is good. Yeah, the pregnancy video was something else. Like he was not happy about that at all. And you know what else I noticed too was when he was looking at the pregnancy stick. Do you remember that he said, "Well, does the pink line mean it's another girl?" Like he was just seemed so freaking overwhelmed at that point if it was going to be a third girl and he would have, you know, three girls to deal with, you know, like or four including his wife. I think he was just so overwhelmed. I don't know if it was rehearsed. I feel like maybe it was rehearsed. Maybe his initial reaction was like sheer devastation or something, and she couldn't show that video, so she made him act kind of happy or shocked. Who knows? We'll never know that answer because she's not here to tell us, right? It's an or cursor to what's about to transpire. Yeah, no kidding. Thanks, George, for the compliment. Well, I'm excited for Monday for in front of the judge. I can't wait to see what Christopher Watts says, if he understands all the charges put forth in front of him and he understands all of his rights. We will at that point be able to go forth with sentencing, but not before that, because if he doesn't understand his rights and all the charges accordingly, he's definitely going back to trial mode, which, if they've given over the DNA evidence, I find is going to weaken his chances at winning anything. Yeah, that's my channel name. True Stories with Ms. Sherry Weems. Jay, you got it. Wonder if he knew it was a boy yet. I don't think he knew it was a boy yet. I think he thought it was a girl. I mean, Shanann was telling him that she didn't know what it was, that the lines were just the lines on the test, and that it didn't necessarily mean girl or boy. It was just a positive line saying that she was pregnant, you know? And so I think it didn't come out until later that it was, you know, a boy. Yeah, it did seem like a weird reaction. Like, yeah, so weird. If anybody's not seen that video, you should definitely go check it out. Don't go to Plunder. Please don't give them any more support. Man, that channel, I'm telling you. I think I have the video on my channel too. If you guys look through the playlist of Chris Watts murdered Shanann and Bella and Celeste. Like he walked in super slow. I know, right? It did seem odd. Like, and he did not seem genuinely happy to find out the news. So, knowing all we know now, he looks PO'd because he just had a date with Nicole. Yeah, I thought it was really odd that he was texting her kind of right after they went missing, looking for comfort from her kind of right away. You know, he kind of used her friends, their neighborly friends in that way too, right? Which is just heartbreaking to know you know, you've opened your home up to somebody that had done something so heinous, right? So So if there's any last minute questions, comments, now's the time to sort of spit that out. I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon. Yeah, you like the shirt. Yeah, I know. I like that shirt too. Whoops, we did it again. Pretty self-explanatory what that shirt meant, you know? So if you're new to my channel, I do my lives every week, Tuesdays and Saturdays between 9 and 11, and that's GMT time. So if you're interested in joining, you know, you can mark that on your calendar, Tuesdays and Saturdays. And we spend this time sort of talking about different cases, missing people, new tips, new things that we've heard. All kinds of different things, you know, from our own issues to, you know, the current issues that are out there in the world. So it's possibly Shannon may have found while with her family, but a gender reveal party was to be that weekend. Wow. Boy, I wonder if he feels really horrible now knowing that he killed his wife pregnant with his only son. Like he'll never get a chance at having kids now because he's not married, so he won't have conjugal visits unless somebody decides to marry him that's out here in the world and go in and do that with him. But she's whiz, like whatever. I'm sure that he feels horrible knowing that that he killed his only son, you know. Thank you so much, Natalie. How come you never tried an insanity defense? You know, I think that his pride probably didn't allow him to go for the insanity defense. Monday cannot come soon enough, Sunkissed. You got that right. Sent notification bell. Thank you. Chris seems to have a thing for shirts, likes them more than people. Yeah. Interesting observation, right? He was wearing the shirt that Shanann had bought him when she was just on her vacation, you know, for a sports team that's his favorite. Am I doing an update on Monday? Absolutely. 100%, you guys. Absolutely stay tuned. Psychopaths don't feel guilt. I can't relate to that at all. Like, it's just so, it bothers me so much because I just can't understand how somebody doesn't have a, like, compassion, conscience, guilt. I just don't understand not having any of that. Like, and I guess because I have so much of it, I just can't imagine not having any of that. That's just horrible. A commenter says he's got new favorite shirt. Bright orange one. You're funny. Yeah, no kidding, eh? He sure didn't. It's not his favorite though, because he doesn't want anybody, you know, taking pictures of him in it or anybody filming him while he's in his handcuffs or his jumpsuit. Like, get real, buddy. Maybe you shouldn't have killed your entire family and you wouldn't have to worry about what color jumpsuit you're wearing and handcuffs and all that jazz. You know, I said that on one of my videos too. Like, you're seriously going to put through emotion because you don't want your photograph taken while you're in handcuffs and in an orange jumpsuit. Like, maybe you should have thought of that before you did what you did. Like, holy crap. I think that comes part and part with the parcel there, buddy. You know, that's kind of what I felt when I saw that motion and I read those words. Like, seriously? Whoa. I think he might change his plea too. I think he might get in front of the judge and say that he didn't understand something. He wasn't explained that properly. And I think we might end up going back to the trial process. And damn it all, if they've given away this evidence and they're going to try to do a mistrial in this, that would be one hell of a fucking twist. Excuse my language. Sorry. But honestly, wouldn't that be like just the biggest shock ever? I don't think they'd be allowed. Like, legally, I don't understand why they'd give away the evidence before this is even over and stuff like that. It doesn't make any sense. They cannot go and get that evidence back afterwards. They cannot use it without knowing that it's tampered with or not tampered with, not tainted. So, like, there's no way. I just don't understand. I hope Chris thinks of Shanann every time he puts on the orange jumpsuit. Was one of her favorite colors. Well, I don't know about her favorite, but so true. Bankruptcy must have hurt his pride. He can feel pride yet not guilt. Exactly. Like, how does he have the pride in his conscience and he doesn't have the conscience about what he's done? I have a really hard time believing that this isn't weighing heavily on him as he lays there every night, supposedly staring at a photo of his family. Like, I don't get it. Happy, comfortable place. Aw, that's awesome. I'm glad that you feel that way. Orange Dare. You're funny, Ray. It's total BS. Yeah. You know, I'm just excited to see what the heck's going to happen Monday in front of the judge. I really just want to see that he's going to say that he understands everything he's done and he's doing, and he understands all of his rights attached to that. And we can carry on with the life sentences that he's going to have to serve. Yeah. Longo said he felt no guilt. Yeah. She had orange background scheme going on. Oh, right. That's right. Sorry, I forgot about that, Sunkissed. He needs just cause changes. Plea from what Scott said. Well, he needs just cause, but I mean, if he's going to state that he wasn't explained something fully, that would be his just cause. Like, no emotion when looking at family photos. Yeah. Well, it's a really, really interesting case, and we're coming to a head on Monday with it. So stay tuned on my channel for the updates. I will keep you guys posted. Um, you know, this has always been really, really good, really informative, and awesome to interact with each other and just sort of get these things sort of, you know, out and about and talked about. So no, he's not an only child. No, he's got sisters, and I don't think he has a brother actually. I think he's just got sisters. I think it's two sisters to be exact. I was in, well, from my understanding, Critters, he has a Bible and a photo of the family of Shanann and the girls. So I don't know. Chris is only upset that he got caught. No kidding. You got that right. I'm pretty sure you're right about that. He has a sister. Just one? Okay. I thought he had two. But regardless, I'm sure that the family will be there to support him and find out, you know, what he's going to say in front of the judge on Monday as well. And as I said, you guys, they're holding the hearing in, well, they call it room 17. And I'm sure down at the jury courthouse there, that's exactly the room that they're talking about. It's room 17. And it's bigger than room 16, which is where they usually hold these types of hearings. So they're going to be having all the media in there. No, I don't think he has a photo of Nicole. He has a photo of Shanann and Bella and Celeste and him. The photo of the family is from what I believe. But we will definitely keep you posted for Monday, and hopefully we'll have some more information on the autopsies as well. I'm hoping that they'll do that as well on Monday, but that depends on how the hearing goes, I think. No, he doesn't have TV. He doesn't have gym. He doesn't have library. He gets 1 hour a day to out of his cell, and that's for showering, and a little bit of outside time and phone calls, and that's it. So, as existing, Nicole is considered a victim currently. Thanks for the updates. You're welcome, Dare to Be Different. I don't believe he has access to a TV, Natalie. She looks hell better now. You know what? I'm sorry, you guys, my lips are chapped. I posted a video with like the plain Jane photo of her and the photo that she looks very similar to Shanann Watson. And some of my viewers were like, that's not her at all. And I'm, I didn't really argue with them, but that is her, and she does look a lot like Shanann. What a time to have chapped lips, seriously. Chris certainly has a type. Yeah, yeah. I think she does look a lot like Shanann. That's actually kind of an interesting fact that most humans sort of go by. They tend to go for somebody that's similar in looks or traits to their parents. And that's probably because you love those people, right? So, and they treat you, they're supposed to treat you well. They're supposed to love you unconditionally. Brunette with big boobs. Yeah, exactly. How does how does get law library in Colorado? What? Sorry, what are you asking, Ray? Hello, Mike. Hello, Jason. Ali. He does get law library in Colorado. Oh, are you talking about Christopher Watts? Because as far as I know, he does not get any access to any of that. Not right now, anyways. Maybe after he's sentenced. Like Shanann was Dare. Huh. How the hell do you date a guy and not Google him? You know what? I don't know, you guys. I have to admit, like, I didn't start Googling and background checking men until recently, to be honest with you. And it was because of all these stories and things like that within the last couple years. And I should have been doing it from like 2009 when I was online and I could have been Googling and background checking people, and I just never did. In fact, I kind of feel like I was a little I guess naive, right? Because I just I took people for their word. I let them come over to my house. I mean, this could have very well been my story that I read so many of these heinous things happening to women around the world. I feel like that could have been me. Like I very easily have trusted people in the past. That changed within the last couple of years, you guys, where now I Google and I background check and I will pay the money to find out about somebody before I go out with them and things like that. Because I think it's just safe. I mean, in this day and age, you don't know who's trying to be a nice guy, who's lying about their identity, whose identity they're using. I mean, you got to make sure that the person matches the picture and stuff like that, right? So, in this day and age in dating, I think it's just silly to not look on the background of somebody and not check into who the heck they are. I'm sure there were other women too. I think Nicole would have noticed a lot of things, absolutely, because being her best friend and all, there's no way she didn't know a lot more, right? She just probably can't say anything right now until everything's done and over with court. So for my Facebook Live, if you guys are just tuning in, I do true crime stories. And if you're interested in following me on YouTube, just kind of click any of the stories. You should be able to get to my name and find me and subscribe. And I thank you guys for watching. More women, he got a big ego boost. Once he lost weight, yeah, I'm buffed up. Basically, not good. Got good looking, changed in more ways than physically. Yeah, I hear you, Sunkissed. Kind of took on a different persona, I guess, right? And catfishing is a real thing. There's people out there. I have a ton of them on my Facebook that I have to go through, that just their pictures aren't who they say they are. Their profiles aren't legitimate, real profiles. And most of them are scam artists and liars, basically. And who needs any of that on there? Like, I don't even want them to watch me, to be honest with you. When a man says he's separated, it means he hasn't seen his wife since breakfast. That's funny. Dare to be different. That's funny. I am not arguing, but it has only been reported that Chris Watts has a Bible and photo. Yes, that's what I had said. Critters. Reported, not confirmed. Oh, okay. Well, that was the piece I was reporting as well. And so if it's not confirmed, then it's possible that maybe he just has the Bible and he doesn't even have a photo, and they're just kind of embellishing that in order to get the clicks and the views and all that stuff, right? Catfish is a real thing. So many lies people live. Yes, exactly. Which I don't understand. Is that not just absolutely exhausting to lead a bunch of lies in your lives? Honestly. But I just don't understand how that's not exhausting. I'm right about Nicole. Yeah. Video links in Google. Google Sherry too. Yeah, you absolutely can Google me. I have no adult criminal record. I can tell you that right now. Um, I have had incidences involving police and things like that in my life, but I do have a juvenile record, but I don't think you'll find anything on that. But it probably will show all of my social media platforms that I'm involved in and stuff like that. It would be interesting to know what you guys find out. If you guys want to Google me and see what information you can find out, you can message me privately and I'll tell you if it's right or wrong. That could be kind of fun. Reported he has family picture and Bible. It is allowed. See, but that was reported, Ray. But I guess what Natalie was saying is that it wasn't confirmed. So it was reported, but we don't actually know if that was 100% true. It's allowed in Weld County Jail. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Do we necessarily have a source where they have stated it is 100% true or not? Right? Wasn't me. Sorry, it was Critters. Sorry, Natalie. Sorry. Yeah, it was Critters that had stated that it wasn't confirmed. So that's true, right? He is still under the suicide watch from what I understand, but I would imagine that after sentencing that will cease. There will not be any more suicide watch, but I don't know. Nothing he could digest, yeah, or sort of cut himself with or anything. Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens on Monday. Family works in law. Yes, Ray, you smarty pants. No, it's awesome that people like agreeing with you too, because you do have a lot of insight, and I appreciate that. I think you're a bonus to my channel, and I appreciate it. So thank you. So definitely stay tuned for Monday, you guys. I will keep you posted. And then with hunting season starting in Barron, Wisconsin, I'm going to try to stay on top of any news in that area for Jamie Kloss. So, and Ray, by dry cell, you mean that there's literally no Bible, no photo, no nothing, no, it's just concrete floor kind of thing, kind of like solitary confinement, right? So, okay. I'm going to wrap this up now, you guys. It's kind of getting on the second hour here. And why does he need suicide watch? Well, he just he just took that deal to avoid the death penalty. You know, that's what the deal was. The authorities went to the victim's family and asked them what they wanted to seek in the case. And they decided not to seek the death penalty, but rather sought life in prison. So, you know, I feel like it probably would have prolonged the entire process for had they have gone for the death penalty. And there's, like I said, in the statistics of the death penalty in the state of Colorado, there is only one person that's ever been put to death, which means that the rest of the people on death row are kind of living it up there, you guys. Like they get access to different things than general population. They have TVs in their rooms. They have, you know, books and reading and writing and all kinds. It's like a little mini apartment, like a bachelor suite, you know? And that's because they are on death row. Okay, Ray, we'll talk to you later for sure. Just message me. And dare to be different, you're probably right. Psychopaths rarely probably commit suicide, but I don't know if we can fully classify Christopher Watts as a psychopath yet. You know, I think we need to see what he does, how he handles the judge for one, and the fact that he had an analysis done in the prison system tells me that you know, they already kind of have that information. So if they didn't play the insanity card, it's probably because they realize there's no way that he could pull it off. He is too intelligent. He is pretty, you know, smart or whatever. He's educated and stuff like that, that they wouldn't feel comfortable. They don't enforce the death penalty in Colorado. That's very true. Him taking plea deal makes no sense unless he wanted to avoid trial. Well, he had wanted to avoid the death penalty. So, you know, I think that that was probably maybe a borderline coercion where they told him, you know, like you could be sentenced to death for this, or you could just admit what you did wrong and spend the rest of your life in jail. You know, I don't know. Hi, Ellen. You think he wanted to avoid trial? That's why he pled guilty? Well, I guess we're going to find out if he understood everything that he sort of did when he gets in front of the judge on Monday. And if at that point he decides that he didn't understand it, guess what, Ellen? We are going back to trial mode. So it's kind of all lingering on the fact of what is he going to say to the judge? Is he going to say that he fully understands everything, that his lawyers put forth everything 100% the way that the judge is putting it forth and he understands it? Or is he going to turn around and say, no, he didn't get that, and then we're going to have to go back to trial? And has the law enforcement given back the evidence in the case, or are they still holding on to it before the release? I hope they're waiting until they talk to the judge before they've released evidence, because otherwise it'll just be tampered with and tainted. It won't be able to be used, that's for sure. Trial, and that's why he pled guilty. Agreed. Thumbs up. Thanks, Miss Sherry. Yes, for sure. Well, I'll keep you guys posted for Monday. Avoiding trial means he doesn't have to lose his good guy husband persona. He's full of he's full of himself. Well, I guess we're going to find out on Monday for sure. And I mean, if you guys enjoyed this video with me, that's this live, a thumbs up would be great support. And we'll definitely be back on Tuesday to talk more about this. Hopefully I'm sure we're going to have more information about all of this case then. But stay tuned for Monday's update on the hearing that's going to happen Monday at 10 a.m. in the courts, Colorado courts. So I really appreciate your viewing, your watching, all of your subscribing, your likes, your comments, your shares, all of it. The online love from you guys is amazing. I really appreciate it. So he does seem to be more concerned about his public image. That is for darn sure. Cameras are allowed in the courtroom. They're going to be holding it in a bigger courtroom in order to accommodate all of the media that's going to be there. So I have to go now, Natalie, but we can definitely chat more, even just on Facebook Messenger. But I hope everybody has a great weekend. And I love all of you guys too. Your support and continuous sort of feedback on good and bad is welcomed. It is very much welcomed by me. I'm trying to better myself for you guys and make myself an even bigger channel. So an even bigger voice, right? So thank you everybody for watching. I really, really appreciate your online love and support. And don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you again soon. All right. Bye for now, everybody.